Well, greetings, everyone. It's about what 11:48 on a Friday night, and yeah, it's 11:48 on a Friday night. I decided, I after a really long day, I decided, I'm going to try something new, and it's something that I've never done before. I'm actually simulcasting on both Facebook Live and on Instagram, and I actually have two devices up. So the first one, obviously, is my laptop with not the greatest webcam in the universe, and then on the other side of it, I have my smartphone to my left, which is basically the camera's right, and is basically doing the exact same thing. So I have these two these two devices, and this is the first time that I've ever casted twice at the same time. I thought it was pretty fun to do, but I figure, I have a lot of time on my hands to experiment with different devices and things like that. So this is just a quick one. I know that probably most of you are in bed, and I'm probably going to go, to bed as well. It was a long day. It was day two of online learning for my two nieces, and I'll tell you, one of the things that I'll just jump into it right now, but one of the things that I learned about getting kids started with this whole online thing is that you don't realize what the challenge is going to be until you realize that one of the kids has a very major case of social anxiety, and it's only exacerbated by the fact that that person has to be in front of a camera. And when that kid has an issue with being in front of a camera and feels uncomfortable doing so, and then you have to remind the kid that that's pretty much the mode of communication, but they don't want to be, it's a mess. And so, you know, this is something else that I'm very much learning the hard way in regards to communication, and being able to do online classes, is that in many cases, there's a lot of people who really herald online classes, because especially for people who may have, let's say, a learning disability, or um, may need more time to finish something. If you're using a standard learning module like Canvas or Desire to Learn or Google Classroom or anything like that, you have some leeway. You have ability to be able to slow down the pace of like what you're learning, and be able to control it more. But then when you're in a place where you have video conferencing, such as something like this where I'm currently talking to two cameras right now, and it's something that I have to come up with on the fly, because all of these, every time, by the way, this is episode 106. Good morning, I'm still alive. This is on Instagram as well, so I'm kind of looking at two things at the same time. But I'm finding that if you're in a video conferencing situation, I can see how nerve wracking something like this could be. Now, you're trying to tell a 5.5-year-old that this is the way that you're going to be talking to your teacher, and that kid doesn't even want to be in front of a camera. But then the iPad's in front of them. It's a total mess. So yeah, that's been my challenge for the last 2 days. I didn't realize, how tiring that was actually going to be, and that is really, I now I'm realizing too, is that there are even more social issues in regards to this online learning bit that are going to definitely make themselves known as the weeks go by. It's even harder now to uh, maintain accountability for students, and this is definitely going to be a challenge going in tomorrow. So the question is, why am I still up, and why do I have cameras, and why am I doing all this stuff? Well, here's what's happening. So even though all of my classes have been canceled pretty much, and at my community college, it turns out that I have one class left. It has not been canceled yet, and I was given option by the hosting location that I work at, to offer the class in an online format. And because it is a beginning class that I am currently teaching, you know, and because the students are very much, beginners, and they don't know how to use a learning module like Canvas, and there's not enough time to teach them how to log in, because many of them can't even log into their own community college accounts. I decided to do the most simplest thing and start a video conferencing session tomorrow, and send an email, and I invited everyone, and I basically, did that. And yeah, That's pretty much where I am with this. And, there's not really much I can do in regards to the way that I'm teaching this class. It's the simplest way I can go. It's what I can do. I really can't even like imagine whether or not anyone's even going to show up to class. That's something that's also concerning me. And I'm going to be keeping attendance, and this will be the first time for many of them that they're even going to be using Zoom conferencing. And so I think that I'm really hoping that they received the email that I sent. And there were even glitches with that. It was really annoying. And I had to fix a couple things on my end that even tech support couldn't do. Yeah, I know it's all a test drive. I mean, I'm pretty much flying by the seat of my pants right now. It's insane. I mean, the fact that that the hosting location has allowed me to continue, I'm shocked because, like I said, every other class that I am scheduled to do through the spring semester has been canceled. I was supposed to start a class um, in mid-April, which has already been scrapped. I was already scheduled to uh, take a tour of the site, and that's been scrapped. So there's just been a lot, and I'm finding it hard. And this it's there's a little bit of anxiety on my end that's coming in. And so when I think about the other on the students end, when these students are trying to figure out how they're going to navigate these classes, and then internet connectivity could be junk on the students end, or like, for example, some of the issues that I've seen so far with video conferencing has come from screen sharing. So for the people who don't know what screen sharing is, it's basically that the host of the or whoever is speaking in a video conferencing situation will switch over, and then you'll be able to see the screen of the user who is speaking. So of course, instructors will use this to show like a YouTube video, or they'll use it to show like PowerPoint slides or Google Slides or whatever, or a document or a website or something like that. And if you're using something that's a little bit more bandwidth intensive by definition, like a video or an audio piece, sometimes the audio can come out really garbled because of a slowdown, either on the end of the speaker, or on the end of the host, the person. So I'm really hoping, because 9 a.m. I'm going to be in this situation running this whole thing, and I'm really hoping that first off somebody shows up. That's you know, hey Liz, how you doing? um it's definitely this trial by fire. I had mentioned in a previous episode, like actually yesterday, how this whole situation has definitely, I think, taken online learning and put it to the forefront. And we're never going to be looking at this the same way again because of this. Now that we've been in a situation where, and I hate to say this, but I feel like we're not, this is not the first time that we're going to, the only time that we're ever going to end up in some sort of um, statewide, nationwide quarantine situation where our travel is limited, and we can't go where we need to go when we want to. And please don't take more toilet paper. What is wrong with you? We're going to be in situations like this. And uh, you know I think we're learning right now that there are just things that in our infrastructure that are reaching critical mass because of the amount of people having to use it. I am the other reason why too that I decided to experiment with this during the day. I mean, like during the late evening, we're going into midnight now, is that this is the time when bandwidth is being used the least. Which means if I were trying to do this during peak hours when people are on um, Netflix or anything like that, I could possibly be dealing with a slowdown in bandwidth. And so I was just doing this too, more as seeing how this could work without much of a uh, let's say problem. So yeah, this is what I'm doing at 11:58. I'm sitting here finishing up, adding a couple extra Google slides to my lecture, and hoping that people show up tomorrow, to take this thing and save my class. I don't know. I mean, it just this entire situation sucks. I mean, I will say this. In the mail, I got this stuff in the mail today, and I found out that I just got a that's my official approval for my food stamps. That's how bad this is right now. And fortunately, I'll have funds to purchase food coming in April, which I'm fine because the remainder of this month I got more than 10 days worth of food in here. I'm fine. So yeah, that's always a lovely thought. And as much as I was thinking maybe I should go on a motorcycle ride this weekend, it's probably not going to happen. I'm gonna have to bring Clorox wipes with me and wipe down the gas station pumps every single time, and it's just no, it's not happening. I don't think. I have a feeling that's not going to happen. So that's kind of where we are with that, and all that stuff. So yeah, social anxiety. It sucks when you realize that this stressful situation can bring out some really unwanted side effects in people, and it's understandable. There's often a lot of memes running around about extroverts. The introverts need to check on the extroverts because they don't seem to be okay. And as much as that's a joke, it's not very far from the truth. I mean, I consider myself kind of a combination between. I do like to get out a lot, but usually it's just because of the state of like where I am in my location and things like that, and the nature of my jobs has me traveling everywhere. But at the same time, it's definitely this is a very drastic routine change for a lot of people, and some people just cannot, they can't hang. So it's very hard, to explain. But I mean, all we can do is just take one day at a time at this point. Um, it's hard to even go back into a routine in regards to physical activity. I'm hoping that once I figure out, or at least come to the realization that I definitely really don't have anything professional to do for the foreseeable future. I mean, it got so bad in terms of the LA County shutdown that one of the jobs that I was actually supposed to be doing remotely got canceled due to the fact that the entire business that I was being contracted by had to suspend operations due to full county shutdown. Yeah, that's great. I think the only saving grace I currently have is eBay. People are still buying random crap on eBay, so I might just have to throw something on there. Um, I mean, it bites, it's but at the same time, though, without being or sounding as too negative about it, it's just that we're put in a situation where there's going to be a lot of adjustment. There's still a lot of adjustment. Every day is a dang adjustment. I mean, you know, people are still fighting over rice, so it's once until things start to get to a point where people have accepted the fact that travel is limited, that contact is limited, and all that stuff. It's still going to be challenging because people just have not everyone has accepted the fact that you just need to stay the f home and not go anywhere. Anyway, but yeah, that's currently the deal with that. Um, I can't really share any screens on Facebook Live or on. I can do that definitely on Zoom. I did get to test Zoom today, and my Zoom works, and it's ready to go for tomorrow, and that's a good thing. Uh, I have actually this will be the very first time in my college instructor career that I will be conducting a class completely in Zoom. I have actually never done it before in that format. I've actually done practice lectures in grad school using YouTube live stream. I've done that. It's not that far off. The only difference really is just the software that's being used. I've also used Google Hangouts, which is very similar to Zoom in that you can share a desktop. So it's not like it's anything different. It's the beautiful thing about video conferencing is once you learn one thing, once you learn one program, all the other programs are pretty much cousins. It's kind of like video editing. Once you learn, let's say Adobe Premiere, you can pretty much use any other video editing software with a very minimal learning curve and vice versa. So it's okay. Um, yeah, I know Liz and Lucy. I know. Yeah, Liz gets back to reading and lace making, and I think I need a hobby. Nah, well, you know what I mean. But I think video. I think video logs are going to be my mo for the time being, just because this is just something I've done for so many years, and now I've got more time to do it. So it's nice when it doesn't matter what time of the night you're working. Yes, I can stay in my PJs. I'm in my PJs for the most part, or at least in a hoodie of my choice. Maybe I can just change and wear a hockey jersey whenever I feel like it. Something, something, something. But I will wear like a nice shirt or something like that. But like nobody's gonna see me from the waist down when I'm, you know, learning some drawing. Do I want to learn some drawing? That might not be a bad idea. Maybe I'll get back to you when I finally clean my garage. Ugh. Um, I will say though that I'm having a lot of success with that Instapot, and I'm going to be a good girl and not have any espresso right now because I do need to get some sleep before I teach this class. But yeah, I think I'm probably going to end up learning that. Um, it's just me tonight. I'll have Steve over tomorrow to answer the question. Uh, yeah, if you don't know who Steve is, I'll explain who Steve is because I haven't explained who Steve is. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, I'm by myself with the hamsters. Actually, I think the microphone that I have is isolating enough. Unless you're watching on Instagram, I Instagram people. Unless you're watching on Instagram, you can't probably hear my hamster running on her wheel incessantly in the background because I have the isolating mic for my laptop. But I'll tell you, she has been running for the last hour since I got home, and probably been running long before that. So, I keep offering this hyperactive hamster for adoption, but no one has gotten to the point where they want to go and adopting the hamsters. So, uh, yeah, hamsters everywhere. Daisy's still doing okay. I gave her a yogurt treat and she ate it, so that makes me feel better. She's not dead yet. I do have to clean that cage tomorrow, so that's going to be lovely. But yeah, last couple days, with that whole online learning thing, I'm just really glad that it's the weekend now. Even though it doesn't seem to matter in regards to what I'm doing, other than the fact that I'm back at home again and not at my friend's house. So it's kind of like, yeah, here we are again. I know these are very off the wall, kind of shoot from the hip episodes and things like that. And I really hope that, yeah, what, I should do that. I like your idea, Liz. The whole idea of I should live stream the hamsters. The only thing though that I don't like is that because the hamsters are in tubs, the plastic distorts. Oh, there's that hamster going again. You know, um, I have to figure out how to I should do a live stream. The only thing though is okay. So here's my dilemma in regards to that about live streaming animals for a long time and stuff. Well, other than the fact that it probably takes a little bit of bandwidth, but in addition to that, the resolution, as you can tell, probably on my on this feed, isn't the greatest. This is the webcam that's coming right off of my laptop. It's only shooting at like 640 by 480, so it's really junky. Oh, nice. Oh, you acquired a new mop bucket. Okay, well, I have a chain brush from Amazon, I guess. Um, but yeah, if I'm gonna live stream rodents, I would rather do it in at least 720, or if I can do HD, I would. But if I can do it in at least 720 resolution, so that you can actually make out like what's running on the wheel. But I think I should do that. It's like I'll take Venmo donations. Here, watch the hamster run. Like free entertainment. Do something. But I actually have to use a live stream stick for that. So what happens is it's the same kind of one that gamers use. Not the time to care about. Yes, no. There's always the time to care about the resolution. Come on. Yes, I do have to care because then it's just a blob. I mean, you just want to watch a blob. I mean, you need to at least have some definition to what the blob is. I mean, you no, I guess I don't know. Um, yeah, I should just do that. Because I mean, no one's gonna pay to watch me eat food or something like that. Um, yeah. Also, I'm hoping that after I use my Zoom classroom, I'll leave the link open for anyone who wants to just kind of join in. I'm still thinking of doing some sort of like happy hour or something like that for Zoom. People just kind of pop in and they can drink on camera. I mean, obviously that won't be recorded or anything like that, but it'll just be for entertainment because it seems like cameras are the way I'm going to be going. Because if I'm not filming myself, I'm filming something else. So there's always that. And I've got this camera going and this camera going, and then I have my surveillance camera in my living room. Yeah, I have a surveillance camera in my living room. I got cameras everywhere. Hmm? Okay, fine. I don't really understand what that was, but okay. Um, I should get this hamster like attached to my power supply, and maybe my electric bill will go down because apparently it's too high. All right. Good night. Like I said, thanks to the people who've been joining in on this and just kind of watching in on my random commentary about how um, I'm trying to save the last online class of my college semester, and hopefully I'm successful at it and that I can teach next week. But we'll see what happens. I mean, if anything, like I said, leap of faith, total leap of faith. Nothing I can do. But it looks like right now my simulcast is working. Of course, I don't have as many followers on Instagram as I do on Facebook, but you know, hey, I'm always up for an experimentation, and most of the time I never know who actually watches these things. So I just kind of like to throw some ideas out there. One of the tools that I'm using for this is a really awesome rig that I use to hold my smartphone to a tripod. It's really nifty. It's less than $20. If you're interested, I can send you the link on that. And aside from that, there's really not much else I have going on. I do appreciate the test and sticking around for that. It's nice to see a few people liking the video, which I really haven't seen any in a while, or haven't heard from in a while. So it's really nice to see. Um, but I try to do these periodically. I mean, of course, lately I've been doing this for like 3 straight days because I don't have anything else to do with myself. But yeah. Um, well, I'll let you know what happens to this online class. It starts at 9 a.m. today. It's 12:11 a.m. So I would say 9 a.m. today. I'll be online probably by about 8:45, 8:50. And hoping that people will log in as well. And if I don't get anybody, then I tried. I made an attempt. And really, in all reality, I probably could be the only beginning computer class even attempting an online module. So if I'm going to pull a stunt, I'm going to do my best, and it's the best I can do. Anyway, so I'm going to sign off here. um However the heck I do this, I'm like looking to see like where the end button is on the Instagram one. I already know which one's on Facebook. But y'all be good. Hopefully you get a good night's sleep. It's Saturday, whatever that means to anybody now, because I feel like I've had an eternal weekend that has been littered with other random things popping all over the place. At least I got a 2-hour nap during the day, so it's okay there. But anyway, be good. I will let you know what happens tomorrow. And also, one thing I might do is if I end up doing a simulcast like I'm doing right now with my lecture, I may be posting my lecture on Instagram, just the part where I'm speaking, just for your entertainment. Because if I'm going to end up teaching anything, at least I can give some of this to the rest of the world. The topic for tomorrow, in regards to my lecture, is a mixed bag of identifying different kinds of social media and how to judge reputable sources online. Because, as you know, we're all stuck. Good night, Liz. Um, as since we're all stuck staring at the internet, one of the hardest things to do sometimes is to determine whether something that you're reading is from a reputable source or not. So I'm going to be covering that because it's going to be difficult for me to kind of really go into major computer skills on a video conference. But at least we can inform, our students that, hey, please be aware of the stuff that you're reading online. because it's not all there to inform you of the truth. And I'm not saying that in terms of, what, like, news sources and things like that, but it's a matter of, yeah, you need to fact check yourself. You need to fact check your information and make sure that whatever news you're getting is from a place that is authorized or is qualified to give you the information that you're reading. That's actually a hard one that comes with practice. I mean, it's easy to get misled in this day and age, and if I can at least shed some light in this, and hope that I make a little bit of an impact in that sense, you know we'll go from there. But anyway, that's enough of the blah from me. I'm gonna put all this away and head off to sleep, and I hope that everyone's okay, and you know I'll let you know how this goes in the next episode. So yeah, this ends episode 106 of my video logs, and the very first one ever simulcasted on Instagram because I just had to try it out. So y'all have a good night, and yeah, I will see you all soon.